Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly step by step how to spring clean your pond. There's a few essential steps, but overall it's pretty straightforward. It's just kind of a messy job. So first off, you will need to pump out your pond. And if you got koi in there, obviously you're going to catch them. We have a tub set out. We're going to place them in our tub. We're going to high pressure spray the algae on the rocks. You can see our water's pretty clear. We've not fed our fish yet. The water temp is 47. We don't start feeding our fish till the temp at least gets comfortably at 50 degrees. They are moving around, and they have been just recently. But you can see a lot of that growth. We got little string algae on the rocks. That's to be expected. You don't have the healthy aerobic bacteria colonizing yet. Just the water temp's too chilly for them. So you get excess nutrients from leaves. You can see some leaves and debris that nestled in from the fall and over the winter. Okay, so first thing you're going to do, obviously you got to shut off your waterfall. Unless you have a separate pump to pump out your pond, you're going to want to use that pump that you're using for your waterfall. So I'll show you how to unhook that. So we're going to unplug our waterfall. You'll see it getting unhooked or unplugged, so it's winding down. Now, depending on what your skimmer looks like, this is an Easy Pro skimmer. It's an older skimmer. We've had this pond for about 15 years. This is held up nice. We've had to replace the brush a few times, but and then that. But real simple, you're going to unhook this. Usually it's just a rubber coupling. It's pretty mucked up. We just got it fired up. There's a lot of dead organic material in here. I'm going to hose this off real quick. So you could use this pump. We could use this pump, the pump that's running, or we can swap this bulkhead fitting out. We're going to use a little bigger pump so it pumps out quicker. Obviously you're going to need some sort of piping to pump it out. You could reduce it down to a garden hose, but that would obviously restrict it. This is just the extra pump or piping that we have that we use for our pool. So we're going to use it for this. Whoops. We want to get it down there to the bottom. Toss her in there. First thing we're going to do, we're going to clean that off here a little bit. Now before we plug this in, and take our hose, remember we're going to fill up our tank for our fish. So if you have fish, use the same water from the pond. Don't fill it up from a garden hose. it's important to use the same water because it's the same temp that they're used to. If you fill up with your garden hose, not only do you have to dechlorinate it if you have city water, but the temperature is going to be different. And obviously fish, so they don't get stressed out, you want to mix them in the same temp. Okay, so once your tub is pretty full, you want to fill it clear to the top because these guys like to jump out. So once we get this pretty full, we're going to just start pumping it out. We'll try to use some to water some trees. We like to water trees and yard with it when we can. Okay, you can see we're getting pretty close. We're getting pretty low. I mean, it's hard to see in the shade here. But we're getting pretty close. We like to get it down to about 6 inches at the bottom before we start catching them. One thing you want to do too, assuming you have an aerator for winter, most people do if you have any kind of fish, you want to take this aerator and we're going to drop it into our tank. So we're going to drop it right into our tank. Because the one thing that you have to be careful of is when you put these fish in here, they're not going to have much dissolved oxygen, and if it's warm out, if they're in here for long periods of time, it can be really stressful for them. So make sure you put some sort of aerator, or you could put a little small pump. As long as you're getting some bubbles, some dissolved oxygen, you'd be in good shape. So pretty soon we're going to catch some of these big guys, and then we'll put them in there and we're going to spray this thing down. Low enough for now to catch the fish, so that's what we're going to proceed to do. Memphis, he's going to be my filmer here.
Daddy, I need a net too. He's filming, bro. It's freezing. You're trash, guys. Oh, here comes the big boy. There's a tiny one too.
Here's big boy. Barry.
Bianca, big boy Bianca.
Oh, Barry.
No, it's Bianca. Fatty. You fatty. He's a fat one. Ladies and gents, he's a fat one. Oh, he's a fat one, ladies and gents. Look at that. Look at big girl Bianca.
We need something to cover this.
I got... Oh, yeah.
I don't want her jumping out. She'll jump out. She's not happy.
I thought it was Barry, sir.
Oh, Bianca? Or Barry?
No, it's Bianca. You're trash, guys. No, she didn't jump out this way, though.
Keep an eye on her. You don't want her jumping out.
Riff, you gotta keep an eye on it. Daddy, get Tokyo. Or get Bumblebee. Bumblebee's
right here, right?
Yup. That's what we and River want in our tiny pond, Daddy.
Well, you gotta finish it.
Oh no, here's big boy Bronco. Bronco's a fat one, ladies and gents. He's a fat one too.
Hey, get over here. Film that puppy.
Oh yeah, boys. He's a fat one.
You gotta get close-ups, bro. You afraid?
Yeah, Mom. Oh, that's like a skeleton. Skeletor. There's 3 big boys right there. Oh, he is a beauty wooty. They're so fat. Oh, he's a cute. Hey, River, what's this? What's this? Disguised as an instrument. You're not escaping here, little guy. Oh, I want him. Look at him, Memphis. I want him. He's a fat one. I'll grab him. Well, the next step, guys, is you have to get a sprayer McGear, and you turn it on, you get some water, And what you want to do is you push the button and you get all the algae off. That is exactly how the tutorial goes, okay?
Whatever. Shush. Okay, you want to take the sprayer, spray. Get close up to this, sir. Spray off that algae.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! If you want to get that
Okay, go for it. I'll film you. Come on, sprayer McGee.
I'm trying. It's like turning on.
Okay, so after you get it sprayed down, it's pretty messy obviously, but you're gonna have some muck at the bottom. This muck, one of two ways to get it out. Well, one, we use this pump to get most of the water out, and then we have a small submersible, and we can kind of put it down, make sure we can pump out most of this smaller, finer muck. And you may have to just get in with your hands and clean some of this dead organic waste. Get rid of it. You can also get a shop vac. We'll be getting a shop vac in here and getting all this sludge out and washing it down and pumping it out, washing it down, pumping it out. Okay, so we're getting close. As I said, we sprayed everything out. Still pumping out some of the muck, doing a few washouts. So we run water in, pump it out, get all this cleaned out. This is also a perfect time to check the lights. So we'll be turning the lights on if we need to replace any. We're going to spray out the stream up through here. We'll spray that out. We got to clean out the skimmer. So we'll take these out. We're going to spray them down. Some mucky stuff. And we'll pump this out too. Next phase is sucking all the sludge out. Okay, got her cleaned up and filled out and just started adding some water. And we will get her filled up. You can see it's time consuming, kind of messy. These guys are ready to go back to their home. Okay, as we fill it, one other thing obviously we want to remember whenever you have city water, when you have city water, you want to remember some dechlorinator. It's chlorine remover. Comes in all different shapes. This one treats up to 2,000 gallons. That's about what we have. So we're going to add a good chunk of this for in here. We're about 1200 actually, so we'll use about half. Another thing that I like to add, especially at the beginning, is a healthy bacteria. This is a biological clarifier. It's a sludge remover. This one has some extra stuff in it that'll help basically kill some algae, but what it does most importantly is it has the aerobic bacteria, which will basically colonize down in the bottom, because we have a bottom filtration system. We have a grid of 2-inch piping, drilled holes. It pumps up. There's a pump that pulls water through that. That's what runs our urn right over here. And we have a second waterfall that comes out over here. So it pulls from the bottom. In doing so, it pulls that dissolved oxygen through the bottom gravel, or this bacteria that we're going to help colonize down here. I already poured some in. I'm going to pour a little bit more. It'll help basically reduce the waste that builds up down at the bottom. Prevent algae growth. Keep the pond healthy. That's what we're going to be shooting for. We had another question on what kind of sprayer is best for ponds. Well, this one, I'll put a link down in the description. This one is essentially, it's something we got on Amazon. This is a Sunjo. It's an electric one. This is just one I have at the house, but when we clean ponds for our customers, we use a gas-powered, high-powered. We have a few of them. It sprays it. It's a lot quicker. This still works fine. If you don't mind taking your time cleaning it, it just takes a little bit longer. High-powered gas sprayer is a lot quicker. Okay, we're starting to add the water. I want you to look over here. So when it's empty, it's the best time to rehook. Zoom in on down here. Best time to hook up the pump. Filter brushes in the net, and it's just a lot easier when you do it before you fill it up. Now we don't have a lot of water, but we have enough. We have the hose running in. I like to keep it in a splash so that some of the chlorine evaporates. Put some dechlorinator in. Now we're ready to put the fish. It's going to be murky for a little while because some of that muck gets stirred up still. By the morning it'll be pretty clear. When we put the fish in here, I don't know if we showed you, but you got to find some way to cover it because they like to jump. We had one jump out on us. Okay, I'll show you the pond. This is 2 days. So I should have showed you yesterday. It was a little murky, but today, about 2 days after you clean it, it's going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty dang clear. A little overcast today. But you can see some areas, if you don't get around every single rock, you know, you might have a little algae that comes back. But for the most part, get it clean, start over, start adding the bacteria, and it will start cleaning itself. Water temp is just around 50. These guys, we fed them a little bit today for the first time this year. It is actually 50, 52. So it's definitely warm enough for them to eat.